after agreeing with everything that's already been stated, is that there are a number of objections which can be raised against, of course, the popular ideas about socialism. Of course, the negative, most negative ideas about socialism that we all believe are incompatible with Islam, right? But objections which are theoretical, some that are practical, right? So first and foremost, this assumption that conflict is the default state of the human race, human species, right? That the human beings are constantly at conflict, and that is sort of the default, as opposed to peace being the default. Right? I think that Islamically, we're taught something different, that the human being, because part of saying that our default is conflict is to suggest as well that our default is evil, right? And the human beings are simply pursue their interests, and charity itself is realistically not really something to be taken seriously with respect to the human being, right? So peace is our default, not war, conflict. Goodness is the default of the human being, not evil. And then the removal of God from the equation is also problematic, in that Islam could not possibly be compatible just simply on that basis, which is like, well, God is not part of this. Our happiness is not connected with God. It's not connected with life after death. It's not connected with, of course, belief in the unseen at all. It's all about materialism, crass materialism. We only believe what we can touch, smell, etc. Right? But Islam believes in the unseen. Islam promotes spirituality. And also embraces and actually magnifies the importance of charity in the human being and the role that plays in happiness in society. It emphasizes the importance of gratitude, right? So these are all sort of from the theoretical, philosophical side of things, but then in the more practical areas of the incompatibilities between Islam and socialism, first and foremost begins with what was already stated regarding private property, that Islam is in favor or endorses private property, that this is a human right, a natural right of man, right, to be able to own property, right? The free market, right? Of course, not an absolute free market, but of course we're concerned with fraud and things like that. Those things should be regulated, fraud, but the idea that an outsider can come in and determine what prices should be, they should be able to determine, place caps on profits, those type of things. Not to say that, there may not be some legitimate situations where a cap may be potentially, entertained or legitimately entertained, right? But however, but generally that's, I would say, at least my understanding of the religion and how it doesn't harmonize with socialism. And then also the issue of non-compulsion, right? People cannot be compelled to pay things or to give away their property, right? Without, it being, done willfully, right? And then one last point I'll just highlight is the concept of hierarchy. So hierarchy, Islam is not averse to hierarchy. Islam does not see hierarchy as a social evil, right? And it seems that in socialism, this is a big problem, right? So social hierarchy, and Islam endorses, the Quran even itself endorses spiritual hierarchies, academic and intellectual hierarchies, social hierarchies as well. And, so there's many different reasons why we would consider socialism to not be compatible with Islam.